Good evening, LTL Nation, and welcome to the 7-Minute Breakthrough Revolution. This week's topic is family, and I'd like to share with you a poem that I wrote a few years ago now. They say Bob's your uncle, but Bob is actually my dad. Sitting on his knee, I stared up at him, looking at the good and the bad. That purple leather jacket is still awful to this day, but when I look back, it still reminds me that Bob is my dad. Taking 10 hours to leave the drive after finishing off his cuppa and smoke, we eventually got to our destination with a laugh and a joke. But after 63 years in this universe, Dad's body decided to go in reverse. Heaven's door opened, ready for another angel to come up. And on that day, I poured some whiskey and lovingly raised my cup. Even though his body is no longer, I feel him in my heart, and for that I am so much stronger. Now I feel him blowing in the wind, knowing he's always with me. And it takes me right back to those days where Morgan and I would sit on his knee. When I was younger, all I ever wanted to do was grow up. I wanted to finish school and I wanted to get everything over and done with. But now I'm older and I've finished education, I wish I could have one more day of being a child. Just 24 hours. A visit to Hay Hall to go on the Ladybirds and eat Coltsfoot Rock. That was my dad's favourite. A trip to Morrison's so me and Morgan could pick out our pizza for dinner that evening. Or a sleepover at Hindley Mill Lane, where my dad would tell us a story, or he'd have us sitting on one knee each and he'd sing us a song with his guitar. And I would always shout, "I want Puff the Magic Dragon," because that was my favourite. But there is no time machine in this journey we call life. I thought my dad would be around forever, like part of the furniture. I was guilty of not telling him I loved him every time I put the phone down. I didn't hug him every time I left him. And I didn't not say I love you because I didn't love him. I just didn't like saying those words. I didn't like saying them to anyone because I felt so exposed and vulnerable. I've learned a lot of lessons since my dad passed away in 2014. I've learned to say I love you every time I put the phone down to my family because I don't know when that time could be the last time, and I want them to know every time that I love them. I give more hugs. I give hugs to my family, to my friends that I call family. I remember a few years, like last year, I went out for dinner with my friends and I made them all have a big group hug and they all thought, "Kelsey, what are you doing, you weirdo?" But I loved it and I felt so connected to them in that moment because a hug shows we care about someone. It shows we love them. I give more compliments. And if I see something amazing or beautiful in someone, I will try my hardest to tell them, even if that person's a stranger. Because I think everyone should try and spread as much love. Because Faisal said it in his video, that everyone is our family. It's not just your immediate family, we're all connected in some way on this earth. And now I make my family relationships a priority. I make sure that I call them, that I message them, that I stay connected to them, especially because I live in Dubai and it's so far away from the UK. And I want them to know that they're important to me and I make them important to me by making them a priority in my life. As I get older, there's something I learn more and more every day. There's something that we can never get back in this life. Time. So that is why we need to tell people we love them now, not tomorrow, not the next week, now. And not only tell them, but show them in our actions. Because words, they're meaningless without the actions to back it up. By showing them respect, that you're trustworthy, being honest to them and empathetic towards people, that can show them you love them. Just listening to a family member talk about a problem they've got will honestly make them feel so loved. And be grateful for the people you've got around you right now in this moment. Don't take it for granted. Always show gratitude to the people you've got, family and friends. You see, strong, healthy family relationships, they don't just happen. You have to work hard at them. And you have to work hard at them every single day. And that might mean sometimes you do have to stop doing your hobby or cut work a bit early. You just have to do these things to make your family relationships a top priority and make sure they don't die. Because think of a plant. You have to water a plant every single day for it to grow and blossom and bloom. It's the same in relationships, especially family relationships. And we often take those for granted the most. Kind words, trust and compassion, they cost nothing, but they can mean so much. 6 months later, after my dad passed away, I got offered a job in Dubai. And I was so hesitant about taking it. I was scared of what this would mean. I was scared of what would happen if I left. And I remember thinking of my dad. And I thought, all those times that I missed with him, all those phone calls that I missed, I am not going to miss this opportunity to move to a different country and make my life amazing. So I'm in Dubai and I made my life amazing. I took that risk and I'm so glad I did. I just want to say this. Thank you, Dad, and I love you. And I hope you've enjoyed my talk this evening. And if you have any questions or queries, or you want to share your own story, then feel free to message us on Facebook or email us at info@lifetalkslive.com because we would love to hear your story. Good evening and have a nice weekend. I'll see you again next week.